Founded in Brisbane, Australia, the International River Foundation has awarded the Australian Riverprize for well over a decade and has witnessed the direct benefits delivered to the rivers and people of Australia by all Riverprize finalists and winners. Australian Riverprize alumni continue to be a source of inspiration, work to exchange knowledge and ideas, and foster innovation across the country. The International River Foundation acts as a catalyst for sharing knowledge and encourages both prize winners and finalists to establish extension and twinning partnerships. In 2014, the Australian Riverprize finalists, both large and small, exemplify the type of positive future for Australian rivers that we all strive to achieve. Here are the 2014 Australian Riverprize finalists. Margaret River, Western Australia. The Margaret River is the healthiest river in the southwest of Western Australia in an agricultural and urban setting. A biodiversity hotspot on the western edge of Gondwana Link and home to critically endangered endemic fauna, its competing uses include public and agricultural water supplies. It is also a key recreational area for 10,000 residents and 500,000 tourists annually.
We entered the Riverprize to highlight the work that a small, dedicated community group can achieve through a strong network of partnerships and an engaged, educated community.
Dairy farmers, viticulturalists, students, fishermen, traditional owners, scientists and neighbours have all been involved in protecting and enhancing the Margaret River. The cooperation of this broad range of stakeholders has excluded stock from 95% of the main channel, removed all fish passage barriers, eradicated carp, drastically reduced the extent of weeds of national significance, and improved water quality. Environmental education and community capacity building activities have provided the foundation of these projects and has left a legacy of motivated and engaged communities.
The significant challenge that the group faced was trying to convince the community and landholders that in the absence of some dramatic event like an algal bloom or a fish kill, that we did need to change behaviours to ensure that the unique values of the Margaret River were preserved before they were lost or seriously undermined.
Strategic and integrated planning developed with stakeholders has guided activities in the catchment. These significant outcomes have rebuilt the resilience of the Margaret River and the surrounding community to face the threats of a constantly and rapidly growing population and climate change. Lake Eyre Basin, Queensland, Northern Territory, New South Wales and South Australia. The Lake Eyre Basin is one of the last naturally free-flowing river basins in the world, occupying a large part of semi-arid Australia, including parts of 3 states and 1 territory. Its diverse human communities and incredible cultural and natural values are underpinned by highly variable cross-border rivers, including the Georgina and Diamantina rivers and Cooper Creek, and supports a boom-bust desert ecology. In the mid-1990s, the threat of water resource development galvanised communities and governments to protect these magnificent rivers, flowing freely over hundreds of kilometres to the iconic Cutty-Tunda, Lake Eyre.
I think there's been a lot of successes out of the project, but one of the best successes is being able to break down those state borders and for people to come together from the different states and actually work together.
Community concern catalysed the Lake Eyre Basin Intergovernmental Agreement, focusing state, territory and federal governments on the overarching goal of cross-border protection of river flows and catchments.
Some of the major challenges that we face out that way is, firstly, it's a huge area, and secondly, it covers a whole heap of different stakeholders. We've got mining companies out there, we've also got graziers, we've got Aboriginal people, we've got town folk, and it's a huge area to cover, and some really nice consultation processes were put in place to ensure that everybody was involved in protecting the waterways.
This produced a transforming governance framework which united communities, governments and other players. It was realised through the creation of an intergovernmental ministerial forum its supportive agencies, the Multi-Stakeholder Community Advisory Committee and the Multidisciplinary Scientific Advisory Panel.
Well, look, the main reason for entering this prize is that we felt it was really important for everybody to know what a great job the Lake Eyre Basin community had been doing in protecting this magnificent river system. You know, it is the last free-flowing major river system in the world that's in the deserts.
Together with community-driven catchment management groups and regional natural resource management bodies, this enduring partnership has built a shared vision and identity for Australia's unique natural desert river system, healthy environments, sustainable industries, vibrant communities and adaptive cultures. This 2-decade-long partnership has kept rivers in the Lake Eyre Basin healthy and its communities resilient. Bannister Creek, Western Australia. While only covering a 4-kilometre stretch of water, this project has breathed vital ecological life into a highly complex and urbanised steep-sided waterway and continues to restore its catchment. Some of the key achievements include the planting of 750,000 plants and 35,000 volunteer hours from those dedicated to the restoration of this waterway. These works have been undertaken over an 18-year period and represent persistence, engagement, passion and real-world outcomes for Bannister Creek.
I think the major successes have been really the community coming together and being able to work with the stakeholders, as well as the physical changes within this waterway. So it's a combination between engaging community, bringing the community on board with all the stakeholders, and then being able to actually change this ugly drain into a living stream.
This project has ecologically restored 19 hectares of densely weed-infested paperbark wetlands, created over 10 hectares of upstream wetland and waterway, and fully restored 650 metres of previously concrete drain in the upstream catchment. To complement these on-ground activities, multiple catchment-wide education programs have been implemented which have resulted in significantly reduced nutrient flow, including a 44% reduction in nitrogen and a 50% reduction in phosphorus.
The impact of pollution on the wildlife was catastrophic, and that's what really steered and stirred up the community to proactively get involved in restoring this waterway.
Bannister Creek is now home to an increasingly diverse range of species, with bird and frog numbers growing and plant species diversity increased by up to 70%. As an urban waterway, the activities in Bannister Creek have also had a hugely beneficial impact on the local communities and economies. All of these outcomes represent a truly integrated approach to waterway management and have succeeded in bringing this creek back to life. Boorowa River, New South Wales. Boorowa River Recovery is a whole-of-catchment collaborative partnership project located between Yass and Boorowa in New South Wales. This project is improving biodiversity and water quality and quantity in the Boorowa catchment by improving native riparian vegetation management on farms and promoting sustainable land management practices more broadly.
We entered the 2014 Riverprize this year. We know that the project's been achieving good things over the years. We're coming up to 10 years, but I think now we're able to demonstrate through intensive monitoring over the past 6 or 7 years that we're actually achieving ecological outcomes, and we're also achieving social, political and economic outcomes as well.
Ecological, socio-political, human engagement and economic outputs and outcomes have been evaluated in association with a 6-year intensive monitoring program which demonstrates the project's success in relation to integrated water resources management. So far, 70 landholders have undertaken riparian rehabilitation along 80 kilometres of waterways encompassing 700 hectares of riparian lands. Ecological indicators are trending in a positive direction. Fish populations are recovering and the project model is considered successful in terms of governance and community engagement.
The major success is not only the environmental outcomes but the ability to engage a wide range of the community and to get them actually believing in the outcomes of the project.
The project improved flow and water quality to the town water supply from the removal of problem willows. Boorowa River recovery involves hundreds of stakeholders and members of the broader community in events such as river and farm walks, school activities, tours, workshops, presentations, fish surveys, revegetation, seed collection activities and a major science forum. This is truly a collaborative effort. The International River Foundation congratulates all the finalists in the 2014 Australian River Prize.